I didn't really want to talk through this video, but because of the music in the shop when I finally go in, because we are shopping at the garden centre, I decided that I was going to have to talk over it because of, YouTube's very strict copyright rules, and that's quite right. So I'm going to just talk quietly because what I wanted to do was just not speak and let you just enjoy the trip and me potting up my haul that I bought when I was here. It's not really so much a haul. It's not so much a haul as a couple of bits. And by the way, the moment I hit record, my dogs kick off and start making noises and playing and running about. And that happens every single time. So here we are looking at the bulbs and the perennials. Now I really love these daffodils, these Rip Van Winkle daffodils, Narcissus actually. I had seen them and heard of them before, but I had forgotten about them until I just saw them on this garden trip. But I won't be buying any today. However, they will be going in my mental notebook for maybe another time. I've got plenty of ornamental poppies myself growing in my cold winter storage. So cold winter, what do you call it? Winter sowing. So I don't need to do those. I love these digitalis and mine are hopeless. In fact, I was potting some up today because I could just tell they were not thriving. Having germinated really well, they were not really progressing, and when I began to transplant them, I began to notice that their roots had not moved because the soil block was like concrete. So I don't know how it got to be so concrete-like, but it was. Anyway, let's get back to this. Look at these begonias and gladioli and dahlias. So lots to choose from. Now I'm not going to go mad because I already have a backlog of things to plant, but I was really interested to have a look at these anemones here because I know I've planted some of these in my ranuncular and anemone planting video, which I'll link below. And they're just a bit behind the ranunculus and they're not sort of sprouting and coming through the soil yet. And I was just pleased to check the dates because look, you can see the ranunculus do come a bit earlier, hence why they're a bit more advanced in the sprouting department than the anemones. Now I really loved these pom-pom mix. I think they look really good in flower displays, so I think it's highly likely, because I'm going to have to buy something now here, that I'm going to pick up a packet of these. So look at these, they're already sprouting in the bag. So there's 2 sprouts there. So these are going in my basket. I'm very happy with those. They're going to look so cute. And I may pot these up, sprout them, and then take cuttings and propagate them so that I get sort of treble the amount. I'm not hugely a big fan of begonias, although I haven't, let me say that again. In the past, I haven't been, but they appear to have come on a lot since I remember seeing them, around gardens, when I was younger. And so I kind of discounted them in my mind for years. And then just this year, I've started to really notice them again. So I don't know whether the varieties have improved, but I particularly love, I have planted up a couple of begonias actually, but I'm pretty sure they didn't look like this, but I love these. I will be doing some hanging baskets. I know people think they're cheesy, but I have a cottage adorned with brackets, and I think I like that extra level of flower, and I think I'm really considering these cascading white, but I'm not buying them now because I'm staying focused. I've just bought so much, and I love these. So these trailing ivy geraniums as well. The only problem I find with ivy geraniums is they're not sort of voluptuous enough, I don't think, for the kind of hanging baskets that I like to do. But what I'm really looking for actually is pots, because the terracotta pots, like everything at the moment, are absolutely skyrocketing in price. And if you ask me, they are double since I bought some last year. And I just can't believe the price. I was just comparing those grape hyacinth to mine actually. I think mine are a bit further ahead. Doesn't this garden centre, by the way, doesn't it look... You'd think like, you know, like they knew someone was coming to film it, because it's almost perfect. And while I'm here, I'm just going to compare the sweet peas with my own as well. The thing that does concern me about my own is that they haven't got any tendrils yet. So I'm a bit worried about that. I knew they were a bit leggy, but I figured they'll be fine because I'll probably plant them in clumps of 3 anyway. And once they get going, they'll soon fill out. And I have pinched out the tips too. But they haven't got any tendrils yet. I guess mine are more like these ones here. I don't know what variety they are. What variety are they? Spencer mixed. And I've got some nasturtiums, so I won't be buying any nasturtiums. I'm not really actually looking for plants. As I say, I'm looking for pots because, let me get back to my pot story. The pots in here, they have these beautiful pots. Oh, by the way, this is lovely. Look at this. It's such a sweet looking camellia. It's hardly like a camellia. It's kind of more like a blossom. Anyway, back to the pots. Yeah, so they have these great big bell pots here, terracotta pots. And they're $34.99, which is quite expensive, but actually really still not bad value compared to a very boring terracotta pot back at my other place where I get my pots, which is now £30. This one actually is $11.99, so that's actually not bad value. So I think this is the place for pots. Anyway, I was going to buy these, but because when I was here, I couldn't find the pots that I was looking for. So let me get back to my story, is that they have these pots here, $34.99. They're huge, bigger than this one here, probably bigger, but also nicer, proper, classic, rustic terracotta pot. Really nice. So $34.99, but get this, they aren't just $34.99, they're buy one, get one free. In fact, you've already seen them in my tulip planting videos, and I have just bought 2 tree peonies, which I've always wanted tree peonies since I saw some in a neighbour's front garden when I used to live in Brighton. They had yellow ones, which I loved, but I couldn't find yellow ones. So I bought a pink one and a white one. And then I thought, I'm going to go and get those pots, because I love these ones, by the way. These are really cute, I thought. They would really edge my herb border really nicely. But I'm again going to resist today because I've just spent so much on plants. It's ridiculous. Anyhow, yeah, so these tree peonies, I just love them, and although they're better off in the ground, I think I may have mentioned it, I'm considering moving and selling my house. I have something else, a new direction I want to go in life. I'll tell more later. And so I thought, well, I'll plant the tree peonies in pots. And of course I thought of these pots, and of course I can't find them now that I'm here. I do like going through the landscaping department because it makes me see things that I wouldn't ordinarily think about, and it gives me ideas about landscaping. But also, let me show you these. So you've seen these in my videos where I've built my borders. £10 each. £10 each. Well, that's not how much I pay for them, let me tell you. I go to a store called Home Bargains in the UK, and they have them exactly the same ones for £4.99. So how about that? So if you're thinking about getting some, get yourself off to Home Bargains. I have seen them in Wilko's for £7.99, but I mean, if you'll think how many you need for a new border, that's starting to get pretty pricey. So I'll get mine from Home Bargains. And here they are. Here's the pots. Look, buy one, get one free. And look how beautiful they are. So I couldn't decide whether to get one of these sort of more stout ones or the tall ones. But when I had a chat with the lady later, she said the tree peonies like the deep roots, and I thought about it and I thought, yeah, they do have long deep roots. So since they've got to live in here probably for at least a year, then I'm going to get these taller ones, although I do really like that shape too. Maybe next month I'll get those. Maybe, we'll see. So anyhow, I was pretty happy with those. And they're also weather worn. So they look quite nice and worn already. I quite like that. So they used to have roses along this part of the garden centre here. But, I mean, look at the colour of that. That's really gorgeous. I've got a feeling I used to have one of those in Brighton as well. But it was more pink. I can't remember the name of it though. Anyway, I had to take the sound off here because the noise of the pots bashing about in the trolley was a little bit distracting. So yeah, they used to have all David Austin roses along here, but they've obviously had rearranged the place and they've all gone. So no doubt they've moved them somewhere else. So we'll keep looking. Anyway, it's just nice to fill your eyes with all the green and to be outside and just to see everything ready for spring, lined up. Beautiful. I haven't got any room for fruit trees. I'm going to be actually cutting down my pear trees. I don't know if they'll coppice. I've been thinking about coppicing them because at the moment they're just too big. But I actually love the pear blossom and I love the pear leaves in floral arrangements. However, the pears themselves are vile, to put it bluntly. Oh look, here's some more. These are a bit newer looking, but I'm going to stick with my more weathered ones. So ferns. I might get some more of these for my shaded area where my morning coffee table is. And these are lovely. These are aconites, I think, are they? I'm not sure. Are they? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm not getting any. Oh, now I love these. I really want cypress in my front garden, actually. Just sort of spearing through all the flowers, all the English cottage garden flowers, and then these sort of Mediterranean cypresses just poking through. I have to say we have quite a Mediterranean climate here in the southeast of England. You know, I'm closer to France, Paris rather, than I am to Bristol, so which is where my family lives. So that's funny. I can actually get to Paris more quickly than I can get to Bristol. So how about that? Now here's the roses, and to be honest, they didn't have any David Austin roses, so I was a bit disappointed with that. Because the reason I like the David Austin roses is, first of all, they're all beautiful, and second of all, they're always fragrant. And these are smaller ones. Look, I actually quite like these sort of tall, sort of top hat sort of style ones, chimney pot style ones. I just don't see the point of roses without fragrance. I really don't. What is the point? I'm not quite sure. And it's also why I never buy roses. I never buy roses from a shop like a florist's or supermarket. I think they're just hideous. I mean, I'm not gonna lie or, you know, soften the blow. I cannot stand them. They're stiff. They don't even look real. They're so stiff, and the petals, the way they're clumped together. I mean, look, they're nice. That's beautiful, actually. But it says it's only got a light fragrance, so I can't be bothered with that. But I do like the red with the kind of the yellow centre on roses. These look like a David Austin rose, but they're not. Yeah, these sort of when you go to the supermarket, you can see these bouquets of flowers. They get me down. They get me down because they're just so ropey compared to, it's a bit like fruit. It's a bit like the fruit and vegetables. I mean, you know, the difference when you grow your own. I remember growing my first flat leaf parsley, and you know, I had flat leaf parsley all the time. I used to buy it. I used to love putting it in mashed potatoes, fresh parsley, curly parsley and flat leaf parsley in your mashed potatoes. And, you know, I was perfectly content with that until I grew my own parsley. And the flavour was honestly unbelievable. And I ended up using it in salads and all sorts because it's just so delicious. This is a Leonardo da Vinci rose. And whilst I think it's inappropriate to have a rose named after an artist, and I am also looking for a standard rose, it doesn't say if it's got any fragrance or not. So, and also it's 60 quid. 60 quid. I'll just do my own. Anyhow, back to parsley. Yes, growing your own. Yeah, so I do need to do more of that. I've been concentrating so much on flowers this year. I have planted up some parsley, and I'm going to be doing some basil and chard and rocket, but I haven't done it yet. I do have a problem with the dogs going the toilet in my garden, so it does make growing flowers, foodstuffs, somewhat more difficult. That's the beautiful camellia. So actually, funnily enough, that's what I do use the hanging baskets for. I can grow salad crops and then sort of hang them up off ground level, and then I can be certain then that the dogs haven't contaminated the area. I do tomatoes in pots, as long as they're high enough off the ground, obviously then. Like these bell pots would be perfect with tomatoes in, because the dogs, they're only little dogs, so they can't go the toilet that high up, if you know what I mean. So I love these snakehead fritillaria. I can never remember how to say them, but I won't be buying any because I might be moving, so we'll see. And I saw this daffodil. Look at this. Reminds me of a little rubber duck. You know, with its little orange beak. So cute. As an artist, from an artist's point of view, I like the daffodils with a different centre because they're easier to paint. When they have the same colour centre, it's very hard to get that differentiation when you're painting it. And I do like these jazzy Rip Van Winkle daffodils. So cute. Don't really look like daffodils really. And these are so cute. And I would get some of these, but I don't tend to have much success with these. They always seem to get a little bit ropey. So I'm not going to bother this year, but I love them on cakes and things like that, and in salads. They're so sweet. They really brighten up. I was trying to match the colour. Now, I can tell you for a fact the colour of these was much more luscious in real life than it's coming across on my iPhone, which is weird because sometimes I think the iPhone tends to exaggerate the colours, but in this case, which is why I was filming it for so long, I was trying to see if I could make it work, and it wasn't working. Anyway, I got these little primulas here. And no, are they little, what are they? I can't even remember what they are. I seem to have lost the clip where that was, where that was that I was buying those. Anyhow, I'm on my way out and I saw this little coffee table set, which I also thought would look really nice down my shaded area. But I have a lot of birds going the toilet because it's sort of, there's a tree overhanging it, and the birds love the tree, and then they do their business on my coffee table. So I think it would have to have a gazebo or something. Anyway, back at the garden. So I'm going to pot up now my bell pots and my little primulas. Were they primulas or cow parsley? Not cow parsley, cowslip. I forget what they're called. Anyway. So I'm going to plant one on my terrace, and then I'm going to plant one down the garden between the borders, and it'll be kind of on the path that weaves between them. So I haven't finished landscaping all that there yet, so it's not there yet. But this is the peony. It's a pink one, and I don't know, it doesn't seem to have a Latin name or anything, it's just pink. So, and look, it's hardly down to minus 15 degrees C. I don't know what that is in America, but that certainly is covered well here. We don't get down that cold here, so it'll be fine. And as you can see, it's quite a deep pot, and the peony has quite deep roots. So this is my compost I'm going to use here. So the crocks in the bottom help the drainage so that it doesn't block up the drainage hole. And then my own compost is going to go in here. I think I'm going to have to start using more of my own compost for even my seedlings. I might have to come up with a recipe, because I was so upset to see how weak the weeds were in the compost that I bought for them. It just gone like concrete. I don't know how that happened, but the soil had just turned into concrete, and so of course these delicate little roots had nowhere to go. Anyway, so I'll just leave this video to play on while I do the rest of these jobs, and you can just enjoy the birds singing and chirping in the background. I have really nurtured a garden that is really friendly and suitable for birds to live and thrive, and I think you can tell by the sounds in the background that it's worked. Okay, I'm going to just carry on. I'm going to plant this peony, my little primroses, and then my other peony, and then that's the end of the video. I'm not going to play any music because the birds make enough music of their own. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye. It's